Good evening, friends, followers and channel members. Welcome to another live stream. Welcome to the south of France, where the weather is always beautiful, glorious, happy sunshine, unless it's a day like today where we have got rain showers all around the airfield. So what wonderful weather. Hopefully the skies are going to be a little bit kinder to us once we get above this, and we're heading for Palma de Mallorca this evening. Flight time of around 1 hour and 10 minutes, something like that. But yeah, welcome everyone who's coming on board. Looking forward to this. It's very busy here in Nice this evening. I believe there's a tower controller is, if I've read this right, on the note times, I think there's a tower controller doing his exams, so plenty of traffic for him to control this evening. So looking forward to adding to that. Christian there, just providing the current meta. So what have we got? Winds are nice and light. That's fine. Visibility is 10 kilometers or more. Not sure I agree. Fuel clouds 3,300 feet. Scattered 7,000. Broken 11,000. Right. Okay. Yeah. Recent rain. Fair enough. That's the only bit of that I actually I agree with. So welcome everyone who's coming on board. We've got Andrew. We've got who's come on board. Andrew, Danny, Jez, Ed, Gandhi, hi mate, how you doing? Elaine, SS, Klimo, Tricky Seasons, Jakovic, Frank Farmer, Christian's in full barbecue and 3 beers in. You're not flying tonight, Christian, then I take it. Andrew, evening all. You've been reliably informed that I'm currently missing a manual. You have your full attention, no pressure. So, Frank, WG Abbott, hi mate, how you doing? Mid-Quintant, Ryan E, good evening to you as well. Abed, Dan Skelton, good evening. At work but still watching. Rico87, bonjour to you. This is quite nice to see, isn't it? Nice live weather, nice busy airport. Let's hope the PC can handle it. Little 25, good evening as well. And Sandy, hello from Indonesia. Little 25, what's the CPU temperature? No idea. Christopher Shaw is celebrating 9 months of membership. A bit of cloud won't hurt us. Well, hopefully not. I'm looking at the rain cloud right at the end of the runway. That's the bit where we take off and then we're flying directly towards a hillside. So we'll get that. We'll check the routing and obviously brief that accordingly. Right, shall we get on board? Nice weather at Nice, I think, this evening. Air France is pushing back straight into the Ryanair, so well, let's get in the cockpit before that happens. Well, right, so our aircraft, of course, in its beautiful turnaround state. Barworld, hi mate, how you doing? Good morning to you. And before we go any further, let's get the current ATIS. So let me grab my flight. Import this from SimBrief. We've got 49 minutes until our push. So yeah, here's the current meta, and here's the VATSIM ATIS. If you can go ahead and get that. Why is that not working? Okay. That's strange. Everything else is working. Just no VATSIM ATIS. Well, there definitely is one. So we'll have to go and do it the old-fashioned way. 129625. Here we go.
59 UTC. Landing runway 04 left. Takeoff runway 04 right. Expected approach RNP Alpha. Expected departure 7 Alpha. 7 Bravo. Transition level 60. A1, B1, C1 are holding points of an active runway. PDC available. Wind 340 degrees, variable between 300 degrees and 10 degrees, 7 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers. Clouds. Few at 2,000 feet. Few at 4,000 feet cumulonimbus. Scattered 6,000 feet. Broken 10,000 feet. Temperature 20, dew point 16. QNH10. Bonsoir. This is nice code dessert information.
Oh,
Charlie
the 8 is
reported
cut off at the end. That was
UTC.
one of the most important bits.
Landing runway 04 left. Takeoff runway 04 right.
QNH is
Expected approach
1007.
Alpha. Expected departure 7 Alpha.
And that's information
7
Charlie.
Bravo. Transition level 60. A 1.
Okay. Yeah, so we're there. Recent rain, cumulonimbus clouds in the Meta as well. We've got recent thunderstorms as well. Anti-ice is going to be on for that departure. Right, so 1007. Let's go ahead and start setting up. So 1007 down here, and the first frequency we're going to be able to log on to, we've got the tower frequency, which is 118.7. Just pop that in on the standby. I have a horrible feeling I thought I'd just been spawned into then, but thankfully not. 118.7. Check everything else is where it should be. Yes, yes, yes. Squawking 2000. We'll come up to the FCU. Our initial climb out today, if we get our expected departure, is flight level 100. Pop the constraints on QNH 1007. Rocksteady in early with a very generous £10 super chat. Rocksteady says, hello, just wanted to say, keep up the fantastic content you continue to deliver. Learned a lot from watching the channel. Rocksteady, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, and I hope you enjoyed the flight this evening once we've got out of this bad weather. But yeah, thank you so much, Rocksteady. Very, very kind of you. Christian, the QNH is bonsoir. Okay, that's all set up then, and obviously on the overhead we can see fuel pumps are off, etc. Seatbelt signs are off. We're going to start boarding pretty soon. We'll get the APU on. Right, well, with regards to fuel, the operational flight plan is in the chat. If you are watching on YouTube, welcome to our Twitch viewers as well, but if you are watching on YouTube, the operational flight plan should be pinned in the chat. However, here it is. So our plug fuel should be around 5.5 tons, but looking at the forecast today, I don't need to scroll down, do I? I can just click this handy button here. I love this tablet. We've got destination winds 07013, great visibility, few clouds, 24 degrees, no significant changes. Yeah, nothing really there that's going to stop us getting in. Gusting 3,000 feet visibility, meters visibility, and thunderstorms and rain, but that is not until tomorrow, so we're going to be in before that. Right, in that case, let's see, fuel wise, 6 tons. 6 tons should be fine for us today. Timbo, thank you for the resub on Twitch, the Prime resub. Thank you so much for that and your continued support of the channel. Really do appreciate that. Right, in that case, let's go ahead and grab the maths and balance page and tell the guys that we're going to have 6 tons of fuel in today. There we go. Right, so 6 tons of fuel. Today we're going to have 120 passengers and 1,655 kilograms of cargo. That would be their bags, of course, not actual cargo. Right, before we can go ahead and start loading the passengers and boarding, we need to, of course, give them some APU bleed because of COVID. So, 1, 2, 3. There we go, get that started. Whilst I'm waiting for that, let's just turn up the brightness here. Now, apparently pre-departure clearance was also available, so we might go ahead and check that out. What stand are we at? We're at stand 50 Charlie. Never parked here before. In fact, the arrival tonight into Palma I've never done before either, so that will be that'll be something different as well. So let me just check in the maintenance, not the maintenance page, in our config page. Just want to go and check that our failures are, oh no, I don't want to arm one, not on the ground. Failures are set to realistic and minor. Okay. So then if we go back to our ATSU page, we should be able to go to our ATC menu and request. Oh no, not that one. We want the pre-departure clearance, which is that's the notification. And what are they using tonight? Are they using pre-departure clearance? Just checking the information on VPAR to see if they are. If they are using pre-departure clearance, I don't know what their Hoppies code is. Oh, there it is. It's Lima Fox X-ray, I believe. Oh, do you know what? No, we'll use voice. We'll use voice. It's not going to be that busy. But let's go then to the data page. IRS, we've got our 3 nav greens, aircraft status, valid direct cycle, correct engines, of course. So we're happy now. We can go ahead and start setting ourselves up. We don't need to install a new database. Before we do that, let me go to the flight init data request. One hour and 9 minutes the flight then tonight. APU's up and running. Let's get that APU bleed on. Give that a minute, and then we can get the packs on, start them boarding. We'll fill out our init A page to begin with. Yakovic, the VMR file that I use, there's a couple of great ones on our Discord server. One by channel member Nick is very, very good. So I do recommend checking that out. So our alternate tonight is Barcelona, and our flight number, it's a bit of a meh flight number. I like to rank flight numbers. This one I think sits sort of in the middle. It's not great, but it's not awful. So this is Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. The less syllables, the better. Cost index today of it's not 8, it's 4, and a cruising flight level today of 370. We've got a temperature of 56, minus 56. Tropopause is 38202, not a million miles away. We'll just update that. And we'll get the wind downloaded in. Right, passengers, can you guys start to get on board now? Let me just turn the brightness down of our navigation display so I can actually see the chrono. Pack 1, Pack 2, they can come on, start filling our aircraft with lovely fresh air, and as always I shall be using the self-loading cargo app to provide our cabin sounds this evening. Mike P, thank you so much for your $5 super chat, Mike. Thank you for supporting the channel. Hope you've had a good day, and hopefully you'll have a good evening with us on board as well. Really do appreciate that, Mike. Thank you so much. Cabin crew refueling is underway and the bags are starting to get loaded, so let's open the doors and allow our passengers on board. Thank you. Alright, let's load our aircraft real time. 20 minutes to get those guys on. We'll just check that's worked. So we're planning 120 passengers, as I said. Refueling's underway as well. Here they come, all on board. Let's leave them to carry on the boarding. We'll carry on setting up. So the flight plan today is our planned departure off runway 04 right. And that's going to be on the Rubus 7 Alpha. There it is. And then the arrival into Palma brings us in on the ILS 6 Lima. Now let me just check, because there are quite a few different charts here. We're going to be coming in via the Mallorca VOR, so I think it's going to be the ILS Zulu, unless of course ATC are online, they tell us otherwise, but we'll pop in the ILS Zulu for 6 left. If that's available. It might not be available, you know, it might be a temporary procedure, because in the Navigraph charts there's also a temporary procedure showing. Okay, so looks like Zulu isn't available at the moment, so it's going to be ILS Yankee. Let's check that chart out and see if there are any obvious differences with that. The go around is different, so based using the Acoustics NDB rather than the VOR. Okay, ILS Yankee it is. And that comes in, as we've just said, via Mike Juliet Victor. So we have got 367 miles to fly tonight. Not the longest flight in the world, but let's see, 367, 381. Let's check. They look alright. Danny, was the ILS 6 Zulu there? Let me have another look. Six Lima, 2424. Oh, there it is. There. Good spot, Danny. Thank you. See if this updates at all. 357. We've actually just lost 10 miles according to that. 381. Right, in that case, let's cycle through the plan and see. So the departure looks fine. The flight routing looks okay, but we have the discontinuity. Let's clear that out. That's now nicely joined up. 367 miles again, and 381. So still a slight discrepancy. We'll check the coding of the arrival a little bit later on, but for now let's check the coding of the departure. So the departure has us tracking 043 to 420, right turn to Mike November 44148, Resbo, and then Rubas. So all of that is correct. Quite right, Christian, there's no star there. Should we pop the star in as well? Oh, this is going well tonight. The star is the Rixot 2 Mike. There we go. That's why we always, when we're in the air, you always check the coding. We'd have checked the coding somewhere during the cruise and realised, hang on, all the waypoints are missing. Okay. So now, the distance has hardly changed at all. That doesn't really matter. At least the star is in. Let's get that back to arc mode and 20. On the RadNav page, then, let's have a quick look. We're auto-tuned already to the Alpha Zulu Romeo. Let's also put in there the Charlie Golf Sierra. There we go, and we'll get both of those turned on as well. And then onto our Init B page. Now, if we've got our preliminary load sheet from ATC, we can go ahead and use this. Not from ATC, sorry, from dispatch. Oh, has that not been sent through yet? Right, okay. Well, we shall use our operational flight plan then instead. So, we've got a zero fuel weight today of 55.3. That's light, isn't it? And then just chuck in the standard centre of gravity. Winds are already in. Fuel planning then. Let's see what it says. 4.1, and we've got 6 tons on board. I'm actually going to call that 5.9 by the time the APU's burnt some off and we've hanged around for ATC, etc. So, for the alternate we have got, let's call that 1.3 tons. So we've now got on board an extra 20 minutes of flight time. Alright, time to do our performance calculations. Takeoff weight is planned to be 61. So I'm going to be conservative. Let's go 61.3 for the sake of our calculations. Oh, wrong one. We need the departure performance. Departing 04 right. Runway surface. Is it wet? It's been raining, hasn't it? So, again, better to be conservative. Let's go wet. Optimum flap consideration. In fact, just before I do go any further with that, we do have a speed restriction on our departure today, which is quite low, 210 knots. Okay, flaps 1 should be fine. Anti-ice, we're going to put those on for our departure. Packs off that takeoff weight then of 61.3. And did we get that load sheet for the takeoff weight CFG? Ah, might have just come through actually. Here it is. So, here's the takeoff weight CFG is 28.3. Sync the live weather. We'll check out what the intersection departures are here. So, could we depart via Alpha 3? We'll run a performance for Alpha 3, which should be 04 right, Alpha 3, 2473 meters. 2473 meters. So it is 118,129,132. Okay, so because we're planning wet, we've got the anti-ice on as well. We've got a slightly shorter runway than full length. You can see those V-speeds are nicely spread out. So 118 is our V1. Airbus FTW. Hi mate, how you doing? Hope you're well. We are in a rather bleak looking Nice this evening. 129. And what was that last one? 132. Okay, transition altitude is 5,000 feet. Thrust reduction and acceleration here at Nice. Let me just check. Is 1,010 feet. And I think this has also got that accurate as well. Yeah, 1,010 feet. So thrust reduction, acceleration, engine out acceleration, and flaps 1. The flex probably isn't too high. 68 actually. 68. There we go. Right, that's good news. Our clean speed is 208. So I'm going to pre-select that because we've got the 210 knot speed restriction on departure. So we may as well just fly at green dot until we're free of that. Awesome. So yeah, that's all done. It was a lot brighter here when we first loaded in. It's starting to go dark, and those storm clouds aren't helping us. Right, so I'm just waiting for the final load sheet. Let's accept that. They're obviously still boarding at the moment. Whilst they're boarding, then let me go ahead and we'll contact air traffic control and see if our flight plan is what they want to give us. So we're expecting 04 right and Rubus 7 Alpha this evening. Let's go ahead and give them a call. I imagine this frequency to be rather busy tonight, and I'm sure he's doing a fantastic job, the tower control this evening here in Nice, who is on an exam, I think, to gain his accreditation for doing the tower control. So let's have a listen.
The delivery is open. Contact on 121.775. Roger, delivery 121.775. Have a good evening.
Clearance delivery is open. Fantastic.
Cuba ready for flight 09. Delivery low Alpine 1378, requesting forward to Berlin with information Charlie.
Ooh, we nipped in there just before us.
Delivery, good evening. You are cleared to destination via the Bandit 7 Alpha departure, runway 04 right. Initial climb flight level 100, squawk 1000.
Don't know if you guys can hear that. My phone's binging away in the background. Let me just mute that.
And it's squawk 1000, Alpine 1378. Alpine 1378, read back correct, call back ready for push and start. Welcome.
Good evening, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, stand 50 Charlie, type A320, requesting IFR clearances file to Palma, and we have information Charlie on board.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, news delivery, good evening, you are cleared to Palma via the Rubus 7 Alpha departure, runway 04 right, initial climb flight level 100, squawk 5614.
Clear departure runway 04 right, Rubus 7 Alpha, and initial climb 100, and squawk is 5614. Alpine 81 Mike Hotel.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, read back correct, call back ready for push and start.
We'll go Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. Excellent, so
Good evening, Italo Prefect, request push start.
we just tune off the frequency for the moment till we're ready to go. Let's get that squawk in then. 5614. Our initial climb flight level 100 is already set. So just waiting for our final passengers to get on board. How are we doing, guys? Okay, so we've got 89 on. Let's use the time wisely then. So let's go through and we can do our departure brief. Grab the charts. Let's have a look. So obviously the weather here in Nice isn't nice, no pun intended. Low visibility, recent thunderstorms, and rain. Aircraft are still getting in though, without and they're still using the RMP approach, not having to resort to the ILS, so that'll keep the locals happy. They don't like the ILS being used here in Nice because it takes them right over the rich folk, which is obviously quite noisy. So the RMP approach keeps them over the Mediterranean before bringing them back in. It's a great little approach. We probably need to do that at some point. So yeah, we can get back in here if required. Visibility hasn't dropped too much. Aircraft is the FENIX A320, fully serviceable aircraft, no known faults. However, funnily enough, our weather radar doesn't work. Of course, that is a flight simulator limitation. So those cumulonimbus clouds on the way out, chances are we're obviously not going to have radar to help us with that. No NOTAMs to be aware of for our departure. Threats to be aware of them. Well, we've just mentioned the weather and potential turbulence, cumulonimbus clouds as we're climbing up. For those of you familiar with Nice as well, will know the biggest threat, of course, is straight after departure. We've got terrain to the north of the airfield, so once passing 420 feet, we need to make that immediate right-hand turn, steer us away from the terrain. Safe minimum safe altitude then on departure is 12,500. We then pass through this little sector of 5,600 and then safely over the Med, 3,100 feet. Let's talk about the departure, how we expect that to go. So we're parked at stand 50 Charlie, pushing back. He could give us either. He could give us either the northeast or the southwest. We'll just have to wait and see. Either way, we can probably then expect to tax out via either Charlie or Bravo onto uniform, cross the landing runway 04 left via Charlie 1, Charlie Bravo. And from there, taxiing down on either Whiskey or Victor, and we're going to tell the guys that we can depart Alpha 3. We've done our takeoff performance for Alpha 3, if need be. Obviously, if given full length, we can do that as well. On departure, nice RNAV departure. Begin that right-hand turn once we're past 420 feet. It's nice on of departure, so autopilot can come on nice and early while we monitor everything else and ATC communications. Maximum speed of 210 knots. Our clean speed today is 208, so we're going to fly at pre-selected 208 green dot speed until passing Mike November 148. After that, we'll pop the aircraft into managed speed and start to accelerate up to 250 knots. Initial climb, flight level 100. Flight level 100 is set. Let's talk about the emergency brief then. So, standard Airbus emergency brief, and our engine out procedure here is non-standard. So, the engine out procedure here, almost to begin with, follows the normal departure anyway, so not too concerned with popping in a waypoint straight after our departure. But I am going to use our secondary flight plan now. We'll copy the active, and then once we have got towards Mike November 044, which is just here, we're going to continue out and we are going to track towards the waypoint Neres, which is November Echo Sierra Alpha Sierra. Let me spell that right. November Echo Romeo Alpha Sierra. We're going to pop that in just here. Enter the hold. Inbound course is 297, and the hold consists of right turns. On leaving the hold then, we'll come back to Nice. And we will be expecting... well, I'm going to pop in the ILS 04 left. And no veers. Oh, actually, might as well use the Neres veer, hadn't we? As that's where we're going to be holding. So just check that out. Yeah, so there's our engine out procedure taking us to the Neres point, and then funnily enough the arrival is a manual procedure anyway, so we'd have ATC vectors to help us out though if that was the case. The main thing is to get to the hold at Neres, and then we can decide what it is we're going to do, whether we're going to continue, return, or divert. Right, back to arc. Get that set to 20 miles. We're about good to go. Refueling is complete, so let's get the fuel pumps on. External power can come off as the aircraft's been powered by the APU. Seatbelt signs can come on. Boarding is complete. It really has gone dark, hasn't it? Get rid of the GPU, close the door, and chocks and cones can go as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our Easyjet service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free... Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no-smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Thank you.
Okay, our final load sheets come in. Let's check everything there. So, zero fuel weight is 55.3. Our takeoff weight is going to be 61. 120 passengers plus 6 crew. And our zero fuel weight CFG is 31.8. I think this guy's trying to contact the tower because he's on the wrong frequency. Should be 118-700. Right, let's accept, and we're all signed off, and we're ready to go. So we'll tune back to the 80s, not the 80s, sorry, the ground in a moment. A couple more things for me to check while we welcome everybody on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, may I welcome you on board this Easyjet aircraft for your flight today. The ground crew and the fueling crew have all finished, and we're just about finished with all our cockpit preparation over here. The cabin crew are making their final checks as they work through the cabin, so if you could please get yourselves sat down comfortably with your seatbelts securely fastened and give them their full attention as they begin their safety briefing. A big welcome on board today to our Easyjet Sim Pilot members, who of course are welcome to free complimentary drinks throughout the flight. Once we reach our cruising altitude, our cabin service will commence and the cabin crew will be able to provide you with drinks, snacks and merchandise throughout the duration of the flight. Once again, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with Easyjet today. We'll have an update for you when we are airborne.
Alright, let's run our before start checklist. So, cockpit preparation is complete. Signs are on and auto. I should have turned those off because I bet my strobes have been flashing away on VATSIM. A little bug with the VATSIM network there. So signs are on and auto. Adheres, we've had 3 nav green. Fuel quantity is 5960 kilograms and balanced. The FMGS is set. Altimeter is 1007.
Cabin crew, we're all ready to go, so please arm the doors and cross-check. Thank you.
1344, le niveau de vol initial sera le niveau 6.
Ooh, that was loud.
Numéro dessus, niveau de vol 100 et niveau de vol 230 en France F175.
Air France 1344, relecture correcte, raclée de très haut repoussage.
And clearance Alpine 81 Mike Hotel is ready for push and start to stand 50 Charlie.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, contact Nice Tower 118.7. Have a good flight, bye-bye.
Over to Tower 18.7, thanks for the service, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. I've downgraded my call sign to a 3. I don't like this call sign. It really doesn't roll off the tongue. I had to think about it there, and I've actually got it written down in front of me, so that's no good. Nice departure is also online. So I believe that is there's two departure frequencies actually. Do you know what? Let me ask which one they're going to want us on. I'd rather get that in the standby now. Clearance Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. Do you have a departure frequency for us, please?
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, stand by. It will probably be 134.475, but I'll need to go check.
Roger, we'll move over to tower now and we can check with them. Thank you. Alpine 81 Mike Hotel.
Left via Charlie 1.
0 left Charlie 1, Easyjet 709.
France Soleil 6 Street Golf Hotel, turn right on Delta, then left on Sierra.
Right on Delta, left on Sierra, France Soleil 6 Street Golf Hotel.
Itaro 125, cross runway 04 left, then taxi holding point runway 04 right via Whiskey 3.
Cross 04 left, holding point 04 right via Whiskey 3, Itaro 125.
Swiss 6 Lima Kilo, line up and wait, runway 04 right.
Oh, my tug driver's drunk.
French Baguette 27 Lima Tango, suivez le trafic Itaro devant vous, vous traversez piste 04 gauche, puis roulez pour attendre piste 04 droite via Whiskey.
My tug driver's drunk and someone has just spawned into us.
On suit le trafic devant nous, on traverse la 04 gauche, on continue via Whiskey et Québec 3.
Right, okay, well that's a little bit frustrating.
Air France de l'hôtel, contactez l'approche, 134 décimal 475.
Get out, get out.
175, merci pour votre France de l'hôtel.
Easyjet 709, do you want me to go down through Charlie in uniform, correct?
I'm going to end up doing a reverse thrust pushback here in a minute, and that's not good or realistic. There's a lesson here to anyone watching that does go on VATSIM. Always check the space is free before spawning in. I don't think my tug driver is going to connect, is he? He's struggling.
Ryanair 29 Echo behind Swiss Air traffic, Airbus A321 departing runway 0 right, line up and wait behind.
Around the 40, there are a couple of apps you can use. I use a couple on my phone. VATSPy, I think, is there.
French Baguette 4 référent, désolé, on a eu un problème de push. Est-ce que la clearance est toujours bonne pour un push Southwest?
This guy's got his feet in my radio.
French Baguette
How annoying.
Romeo affirme mise en route au poussage approuvé face à l'est, le QNH 1007.
On repousse face à l'est, QNH 1007, French Baguette 4 référent, Romeo.
And Tower, good evening. Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. Is it possible to start engines on stand, please?
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, sorry, can you repeat please?
I just request to start engines on stand, please. Alpine 81 Mike Hotel.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, affirm, engine start is approved, report ready for push and start.
Wilco, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. Right, okay, airplane's disappeared. We can see what we're doing. So, let's get our beacon light on.
Blocked.
Alpine 1 Tango Bravo, holding on Tango, ready for taxi.
Start the timer. Transponder to standby. Engine mode selector to ignition. And starting engine 1.
Ryanair 29 Echo, Nitawa. Ryanair 29 Echo. Did I ask you to line up on the runway? Yes, you did. Okay, my bad. Swiss 6 Lima Kilo, contact me approach 134.475.
Just had to check then the APU bleed was on. Always do that paranoia check, thinking, why aren't the engines starting?
Alpine 1378, still ready for pushback. Alpine 1378, push and start approved, facing, stand by please, I will make a traffic tackling behind you and I will give you a clearance.
Copy, Alpine 1278.
France Soleil, 63 Golf Hotel, turn left on Charlie to stand 46 Charlie, via Charlie.
Left on Charlie, stand 46 Charlie, France Soleil 63 Golf Hotel.
Just tried calling the tug again. As you can see on the upper ECAM, the nose wheel steering disconnection sign coming in. Doesn't look like it's going to have it tonight. Just like the French to be on strike.
Alpine 1667 accordingly to the traffic, Boeing 737 passing behind you, push and start approved facing east on Sierra, QNH 1007.
That's the traffic, ready to push.
And starting engine 2.
Pushback est 17 Charlie pour traverser la 04 gauche.
French Baguette 10 Alpha Charlie, traverser piste 04 gauche, puis rouler, point d'attente piste 04 droite, via Whisky, Québec 3.
So if anyone does want an app to be able to check out the position of people in VATSIM before you start, there's VATScan and VATView.
2 minutes before departure.
Apps for Android that I use on my phone before spawning in.
Can you repeat with the 1-1?
We are fully established, so we're for left.
With the 121, wind 350 degrees, 6 knots, runway 04 left, clear to land.
So that aircraft has just had fully established for 04 left, so that means I'm guessing they're using the ILS approach.
The safety procedures on this aircraft.
46, bonsoir, numéro 3 pour le repoussage, je vous rappelle.
Exit routes, oxygen mask, and brace position that you must adopt.
Easy 6 Uniform Bravo, push and start approved, facing south, QNH 1007.
Emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware.
French Baguette 4 Alpha Romeo, prêt pour taxi.
In an emergency, leave.
Je vous rappelle 4 Alpha Romeo, Air Canada 39, vous êtes prêt au roulage?
Your seatbelt is fastened,
On est prêt pour le roulage, j'ai copié notre...
and released as shown.
Alors Air Canada 398, droite sur Tango, puis Alpha Unité pour l'attente piste 04 gauche.
Fastened at all times.
Attente 04 gauche, via Tango et à droite sur Alpha Unité pour Air Canada
Pull a
398.
mask towards you to start the oxygen.
Alors confirmez bien 398, c'est tout de suite à droite sur Tango, puis Alpha Unité.
Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust.
Tu avais dit Air Canada ou Air France pour la dernière appel?
If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes.
À France 154, confirmez qu'on est le prochain trafic pour le pushback.
À 154, vous pouvez repousser, excusez-moi, face à l'ouest sur Tango, et le canage 1007.
On repousse face à l'ouest sur Tango, canage 1007, pas de soucis, à France 154.
Okay, so both the engines are running. Let's run the after start checklist. There's a lot of voices in the stream at the moment, so apologies if I'm getting drowned out here. ATC is very busy. But the anti-ice is on, ECAM status is checked, pitch trim is 30.2, rudder is 0.
Canada à droite, donc sur Tango, puis Alpha Unité pour l'attente piste 04 droite.
So we're going to try this reverse thrust push and see how we get on. I've not done this since the early days of Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Ryanair 29 Echo, wind 350 degrees, 6 knots, runway 04 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 04 right, clear for takeoff. Ryanair 29 Echo, thank you.
And Tower Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, stand 50 Charlie is ready to push.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, push and start approved, facing east, sorry, QNH 1007.
Push approved, facing east, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel.
Itaro 454, request push and start.
Itaro 545, standby.
Okay, so
Alpine 11 Tango Bravo, holding.
we will, what's Christian say, disengage the parking brake not too early, wait until we've got reverse thrust at a minimum of 50% before we start that, otherwise we'll roll forwards. Okay, so
Itaro 125, line up and wait, runway 04 right.
Line up and wait 04 right, Tower 125.
Leaf Tower, Volatil 923, VTP approach 04 left.
Oh, feel like we need a little bit more, more than that.
Number 1, continue approach, runway 04 left.
Continue approach 04 left, Volatil 923.
This is difficult to do.
Bravo, holding off 104 left.
1 Tango Bravo, cross runway 04 left, then taxi holding point runway 04 right via Victor and Whiskey 3.
Cross runway 04 left, taxi 04 right there, Victor, Whiskey 3.
I'm going to have to come outside, I think,
Canada, 3,
of the aircraft in order to do this.
Gauche sur Charlie et droite sur uniforme, fenêtre on a chute.
French Baguette 4 Alpha Romeo, même punition, ce sera via donc Tango, gauche sur Charlie et droite sur uniforme.
Gauche sur Charlie, droite sur uniforme, French Baguette 4 Alpha Romeo.
Easyjet holding short at Charlie 1. 779 of 10 by traffic on short final runway 04 left.
That was the most unrealistic pushback in the world. Oh, let's hope we don't have to do that again.
378, start, engine start approved, report ready for pushing.
Let's do our flight control check, shall we? Full left.
Merci beaucoup.
France Baguette de 7 Tango, alignez-vous et attendez piste 04 droite.
On s'aligne piste 04 droite et on attend French Baguette de 7 Tango.
Air France 154, demande au taxi.
Air France 654, roulez pour l'attente piste 04 gauche via Tango, gauche sur Charlie, Charlie unité.
And Tower Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, apologies, we had a small problem. We're back with you. Are we clear to continue taxi or do you wish us to hold?
81 Mike Hotel, standby. Break, easy 6 uniform Bravo, turn left on Charlie and Charlie 1 holding point runway 04 left. Can you say again please, 6 uniform Bravo?
Take a left on Charlie 300 just for that 6 uniform Bravo.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, after company traffic, who will resume his traffic, you can resume your traffic. Your taxi, sorry.
After company traffic, we can follow now on Charlie 1 holding 04 left, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel.
Peter 125, contact me approach 134 decimal 475.
134, 475, it's 125.
Volatil 9023, turn left on uniform and I'll call you back.
Turn left, stay fine, Volatil 93.
French Baguette 27 matin go, vent 350 degrés CME, piste 04 droite, autorisé au décollage.
Autorisé au décollage, piste 04 droite, French Baguette de 7 Tango.
Alpine 11 Tango Bravo, after departing traffic, runway 04 right, line up and wait.
After departing traffic, runway 04 right, line up and wait, Alpine 1 Tango Bravo.
Alpine 127, ready for taxi, and I'm sorry for this position, my plug-in was crashed.
Ooh, so,
no problem.
not the cleanest of our departures, was it? But, hopefully we're on our way. Lots going on in here at Nice. I certainly don't think the PC likes it either very much.
Volatil 923, well, taxi via uniform, right on Foxtrot, to gate 8 Charlie.
Uniform right on Foxtrot to 8 Charlie, Volatil 9023. Hello, Gavin.
We are 121, resume taxi via uniform, right on Golf, left on Tango, and I call you back.
Resume taxi, uniform, right on Golf, and left on Tango.
baguette 27 Lima Tango, la suite avec l'approche 134 475.
And also, just as we were doing this, my charts disappeared. So Charlie, I'm holding Charlie 1, which is straight ahead.
Swiss 50 Delta on a 5 mile final, runway 04 left.
Swiss 50 Delta, Miss Tower, bonsoir. Number 1, continue approach, runway 04 left.
Number 1, continue approach 04 left, Swiss 50 Delta.
Tour donné sur Canada 39, on est 4 qui attend la Alpha 1. Si ça peut vous aider, vous pouvez nous faire passer en même temps pour la 0.
So holding here at Charlie 1, we'll wait for further instructions from ATC.
Swiss 50 Delta, wind 350 degrees 6 knots, runway 04 left, clear to land.
Swiss runway 04 left, 50 Delta.
Alpine 137, there's the air front right in front of me.
Look at the amount of aircraft waiting to depart out of here tonight.
378, number 2 for taxi, call you back.
So hopefully we'll be able to cross after this arrival.
137, you already gave me the clearance. I just said that there is the air front in front of me.
Roger, Air France 4663, Miss Tower.
Anthony, something doesn't want to get someone doesn't want to let me get out tonight. No, very busy here at Nice, which is always good fun. Little software crash as well. Touch wood. As long as the sim still runs, we should be okay.
With their 121 behind volatile traffic in front of you, turn right on Tango to stand 8 Alpha.
Turn right on Tango to stand 8 Alpha.
One of the something else to add to the list. Halfway through that, the batteries also ran out in my wireless mouse. Thankfully, I learnt the hard way some time ago.
Bravo, lined up 04 right, ready.
Always have the wired mouse in as a backup, which it was.
Alpine 11 Tango, Bravo, stand by, traffic on short final, runway 04 left.
Find everything is much more stable when we're
Alpine 11 Tango, Bravo, just
when we're out of busy airspace with lots of these
you have to wait before departure.
VATSIM aircraft.
I do love. All station, ground is going to open on 121.7 for taxi.
I do love the AIG models and liveries and things, but they can drain resources. Red Thread, I'll fix that later, mate. At the moment, I just need to get out of here, get a few resources back.
And Alpine 11 Tango Bravo, wind 320 degrees 6 knots, runway 04 right, cleared for takeoff.
Hey David, ask away. I'm sure someone will be able to help you.
Air Canada 398, traversez piste 04 gauche, puis roulez pour l'attente piste 04 droite via Victor et Whisky 3.
On est autorisé à traverser la 04 gauche et on attend pour la 04 droite vers Victor jusqu'à Québec 3, excusez-moi, Air Canada 398.
And Alpine 81 Mike Hotel is holding short runway 04 left.
04 droite. French Baguette 10 Alpha Charlie, alignez-vous et attendez piste 04 droite.
French Baguette 10 Alpha Charlie, je m'aligne, attendez 04 droite.
Alpine 18, correction, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, cross runway 04 left, then taxi holding point runway 04 right via Whiskey and Whiskey 3.
Taxi holding point 04 right via Whiskey 3, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel.
Swiss 50 Delta, turn left on uniform and contact ground on 121.7.
Taxi left onto uniform and then contact ground on 121.7, Swiss 50 Delta.
Alpine 11 Tango Bravo, contact Nice approach 134475, au revoir.
Right, let's do our PEDS checks, just work out where we're going. We're crossing now
841
And we're going to take
on the
whiskey.
RB4 left.
Hold at whiskey 3, so
Transavia 841 Whiskey, Miss Tower, bonsoir. Number
cross the
1,
runway,
approach runway 04 left.
stay on this taxiway, and go all the way to the end.
841 Whiskey.
Air France 654 sur Charlie.
Strobe lights are on as we cross this runway.
Air France 654, poursuivez le roulage, Charlie Unité, traversez piste 04 gauche, puis suivez le trafic EasyJet 320. Au point d'attente, piste 04 droite, via Whiskey et Québec 3.
Can turn those back off again now.
On traverse 04 gauche et on suit le trafic EasyJet pour la...
So no change to our performance.
Via Whiskey Québec 3.
We've actually got a bit of extra time out compared to the performance calculations we did do. We're departing a bit further down the runway. Engine out procedure is non-standard, and we can follow the SID and then direct to the nearest holding point. Departure is the Rupa 7 Alpha, initial climb is flight level 100. Tom, you couldn't see me putting them on because I used a key binding to put them on. Which is great, obviously, makes things easier, but you guys can't always see what I'm putting on and off.
Transavia 841 Whiskey, wind 320 degrees 6 knots, runway 04 left, clear to land.
Before takeoff checklist,
04 left.
flight controls are
841 Whiskey.
checked. Departure briefing is confirmed. Flap setting config 1. FMA takeoff data 118 blue 132 magenta. Climb now blue 152 10,000 blue. Flight 68. Transponder is set. ECA memo takeoff no blue. EFB is stowed. Now we've been cleared to the Whiskey 3. The aircraft in front of us.
French Baguette, Caltre Alpha Romeo, info trafic 737 en approche de la piste 04 gauche, rappelez en vue.
On est en vue, French Baguette 4 Alpha Romeo.
Air Canada.
French Baguette 4 Alpha Romeo, derrière le trafic, arrive en piste 04 gauche, traversez la piste puis roulez pour attendre piste 04 droite via Whiskey, correction via Victor et Whiskey 3 derrière.
Derrière le trafic,
Well, I didn't hear anyone saying give way to the Air Canada, nor did I say, if it is Air Canada, nor did I hear him say give way to the Easyjet either, to be fair, so we've kind of worked that between us. Tom, sky's the limit. When we loaded in, we had recent thunderstorms and cumulonimbus clouds quite high, quite low.
1 minute before departure.
Quite low over the airfield. They may have dissipated now, to be fair. But yeah, when we loaded in, it was an eerie sight. This is the approach that you have to do coming here into Nice. Looks lovely. To be fair though, I think those thunderstorms and cumulonimbus things clouds have now dissipated, so better performance, we will get rid of those now.
Turn right 110 degrees, climb 3,000 feet.
Right 110 and climb 3000, Transavia 841 Whiskey.
French Baguette 4 Alpha Romeo, est-ce que vous confirmez la remise des gaz du trafic en approche?
Ouais, 4 Alpha Romeo, j'allais vous appeler, je confirme la remise des gaz, vous pouvez traverser la piste.
On traverse piste 04 gauche, French Baguette 4 Alpha Romeo.
And Logo says you love the evening flights, immersion is much better for you. I actually prefer daytime flights. I think I love the scenery that Microsoft Flight Simulator gives us, but nighttime flights obviously on lifetime. George says you've been practicing the RMP Alpha approach all week. It is really nice stuff.
Contact Nice approach 128 decimal 2.
128 decimal 2, Transavia 841 Whiskey.
What was our scheduled time of departure? That's the pushback time, of course, isn't it? Not the actual takeoff time. For those of you who have returned following our little stream crash, thank you for coming back to us. You haven't missed anything. We're still on the ground.
1378, Mr. Well. Hello, stand by.
Controller's doing a great job. He is, I believe he is training as well tonight. Christian, you thought with a short flight tonight you might even see the landing.
Easy 779, traffic information.
Now you're not sure if you'll even see the departure. I think White, thanks for subscribing.
Club 04 right, Easy 779.
Anthony, do you have to lose live time for VATSIM? No, you don't. Live weather, yes, but not live time. Carlos, I'll reinitialize the top stream, the banner overlay once we're out of here and airborne. So of course, even though they have 2 runways here at Nice, you cannot have a departure at the same time as a takeoff. Like at some airports. And that of course is because if the aircraft on final goes around, the runways are far too close together.
Alpine 1667, confirm you want Bravo 3 for departure? 1667, roger. Cross runway 04 left, then taxi Bravo 3, holding point runway 04 right.
SS, no need to let Tower know. He knows. There was an aircraft in front of us.
Easy 779, contact is approach 134.475.
134.475, have a good night. Thank you very much for your help, Easy 779.
And whilst we're sat here, of course, we'll turn our parking, our taxi lights off, so we don't blind the aircraft on approach. Oh, I've just moved my trim wheel. Didn't mean to do that. Let's put that back, shall we?
Numéro 1, piste 04 gauche, 2308.
Air Canada 398, vent 320 degrés sineux, piste 04 droite, autorisé décollage.
Autorisé décalage par Air Canada 398. Merci beaucoup, bon travail, bonne soirée.
Easy 464, cross runway 04 left, then taxi.
Abu Mardini! Good evening, my friend. Oh, thank you so much for your 17.99 super chat. Very, very kind of you. Is it only me that hears the rattling sound in the background? I don't hear one. I don't know if anybody else can.
Alpine 81, Mike Hotel, behind Boeing 737 departing, runway 04 right, line up and wait behind.
Behind the departing 737, line up and wait 04 right behind Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. We might be getting out of here, guys. Let's get our lights on. Okay. Before takeoff checklist, below the line. Cabin is secured. Engine mode selector is normal. TCAS, TARA, packs are off. Anti-ice is now off.
Air Canada 398, contactez Nice approche 134.475.
La tour R663 au point d'arrêt Alpha Unité derrière un 320 de chez Easyjet.
En France 4663, bonsoir, maintenez position.
Reçu 4663.
Air Canada 398, contactez l'approche 134 décimale 475. 0308, vent 320 degrés sineux, piste 04 gauche, autorisé atterrissage.
Autorisé atterrissage.
Tom, sky's limit. The status bet is with the packs. The packs are off.
Nice Tour, bonsoir monsieur, Cotam unité.
There we go, pack 1 and 2.
04 gauche.
Et Cotam unité Nice Tour, bonsoir monsieur, numéro 2, derrière un 320, 7 nautiques devant vous, poursuivez l'approche, piste 04.
Hey Gandhi, wave as you go past Bravo 3. You're there waiting, are you? In fact, I think I can see you.
Easy
Thank you.
6 uniform Bravo, traffic information, Airbus A320 on short final runway 04 left, report in sight.
Look at all the flashing lights of the aircraft. There's so much traffic here. Great for immersion. Terrible for sim stability and frame rates. Christian, it sounds like there's a cricket in the flight deck. Really? I'm going to have to listen back to that then.
Victor and Whiskey 3 behind.
David, I don't have a video on it. They're just set to being linear. So, aside from a little null zone in the centre for the side stick, so when I rest my hand on the side stick, no inputs are being transmitted. Ladies and gentlemen, we're terribly sorry about the long delay today. We pushed back 30 minutes ago. And boy, what a pushback it was. Tom says, oh yeah, right, gotcha. Not used to seeing that. You don't do packs off takeoff at your airline. Obviously, sometimes if you need them off, you'll use the APU. The only place we'd use the APU to power the packs is in Innsbruck.
Wind 320 degrees 6 knots, runway 04 right, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 04 right, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. Okay, we're good to go. Takeoff. Start the chrono. Engine 1 critical. Let those engines spool up. Set takeoff thrust. Man flex. SRS.
Alpine 1667 behind company traffic departure.
100 knots checked.
Right line up and right.
V1.
Behind ground traffic line from west.
Rotate.
France 654 line up and wait. Runway 04 right.
Line up and wait, 04 right, France 654. Thank you.
Nav.
Cote unité, vent 320 degrés sineux, piste 04 gauche, autorisé
Gear up.
atterrissage.
Autorisé atterrissage 04 gauche, Cotam unité, merci.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel contact Nice approach 134 decimal 475, au revoir.
134475 Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, good night. Thrust climb. Climb. Autopilot 1 engaged. Keep that in nav mode.
Bonsoir monsieur, numéro 2, poursuivez l'approche, piste 04 gauche. On poursuit l'approche, 141 with you, descending 150 and speed 20.
État 1441, Nice approche, bonsoir monsieur, identified information echo is current, expect RNP Alpha runway 04 left, hold at Meras as published.
Hold at Meras as published.
Config 0, spoilers to sound.
Alpha 04 left, thank you.
Departure Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, passing 2900 for flight level 100, Rubas Selwyn Alpha.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, Nice approche, bonsoir, identified, climb flight level 140.
Climb flight level 140, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel.
With you descending through flight level 180 for flight level 170 inbound Bordy, we have echo.
Quality 49er 24, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, quality 49.
So normally I do turn up the volume, guys, for the departure. But I knew that on this departure we were going to have to contact ATC as well, so I didn't want you to miss any of the calls. They're definitely there.
Easy 779er, contact Marseille Control 124.650.
124650, taxi out this evening, Easy 779.
Don't think we're going to be chasing that sunset anymore, do you?
Beeline 78 Lima Tango, descent flight level 80.
Lima Tango, taken.
Descent flight level
Oh,
80.
Tom, sky's the limit, the Kathmandu approach. How awesome is that? Are you guys certified for the RNP RA into there?
Ryanair 2 Kilo Alpha, descent flight level 170.
Descent flight level 170, Ryanair 2 Kilo.
Ryanair 2 Kilo Alpha,
Radar, bonsoir, Lufthansa 4291 with you, flight level 170 inbound Amgel.
What is this message that's come through?
Kilo Alpha, descent flight level 170.
I'm going to have a look at that properly in a minute. Oh, we've just moved the switching button there as well. Right, passing 10,000 feet. Let's get the lights off. I need to show you guys that message. I don't know where that's come from. I'm going to ding the cabin crew.
Neras is published and we're setting up for RMP Alpha 04 left for Lufthansa 4291. We have Echo.
Canada 398, contact Marseille Control.
Flight level 370 is our planned cruise, and that's also our optimum. Nice to see.
Le contrôle de Marseille, merci beaucoup, c'est notre oreille. Easy 45 Romeo Echo now level 140.
So we're expecting higher ATC in a moment.
Easy 45 Romeo.
Hopefully.
Descent flight level 120, hold at Mike Uniform Sierra as published.
Hold as published in Mike Uniform Sierra, descend at level 120, Easy 45 Romeo Echo. Good evening, Lufthansa 61 Alpha.
Speed out, Star.
Lufthansa 61 Alpha, Nice approach, bonsoir, identified information echo is current, expect RNP Alpha approach runway 04 left, hold at Neras as published.
Holding at Neras as published, expecting runway 04 left, Lufthansa 61 Alpha. Nice approach, Lufthansa 7 Kilo, information echo.
And we've reached flight level 140.
Radar Alpine 1667 with you, good evening.
Can't see any traffic around us, so we'll request higher. We've wasted enough fuel today. I don't want to trundle along at this altitude.
Contact 9.128.12, priority 4910.
Alpine 1668, Nice approach, bonsoir, identified. Beeline
And Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, request further climb if possible.
Standby. Full contact east approach 124.175.
124.175 for Jersey 78 Lima Tango.
Shamrock 7 Whiskey Tango, contact east approach 124.175.
Very, very busy night, isn't it, tonight?
124.175, 7 Whiskey Tango.
Itaro 1441, contact east approach 124.175.
124.175, Itaro 1441.
Ryanair 2 Kilo Alpha, contact east approach 124.175.
East approach 124.175.
They've actually got on the information for Nice departure that the ILS is in up. They have to do the RNP only if you're going into Nice.
Nice approche 124.75, 60 miles.
Right, let me show you that message whilst I'm waiting for the climb. So this has come from, where's this come from? A telex message.
Lufthansa 42901, contact east approach 124.175.
East approach 124.175. Merci, bonsoir, Lufthansa 4291.
Les approches bonsoir France 154 avec vous, on passe 2000 pieds.
Air France 154, Nice approche, bonsoir, identifié. Lufthansa 61 Alpha, contact east approach 124.175.
Contact Nice approach 124.175, Lufthansa 61 Alpha, ciao ciao.
Lufthansa 907 kilo on frequency.
Yes, sir.
Lufthansa 907 kilo, contact east approach 124.175. Sorry, so 124.175, call silent.
Who knew that Jesus Christ was on the Hoppies A-Cars network?
8 1 Mike Hotel, thank you for your patience, sorry about that. Controller shift was in progress. Contact Marseille Control 124.650. Have a lovely flight, bye-bye.
There must be a reason we're being held at flight level 140. People have found a way to spam the Phoenix, yeah.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel.
81 Mike Hotel, pass your message.
Thank you for your patience. Contact Marseille Control 124.675. Correction, 124.650.
Marseille on 124650, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel.
Alpine 1667, climb flight level 140.
Maybe they'll give us a higher climb.
140 for Alpine 1667. AFM 140.
Project. Direct to board the and descend flight level 170, clear the board 7 Romeo arrival, Swiss 2760.
Marseille Control, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, flight level 140, inbound Resbo.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, Marseille, bonjour, climb flight level 370.
Climb flight level 370, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel.
This is a full for Charlie, contact correction, Motor Unicom 122 decimal 8 here.
Unicom 122
Up and away, thrust climb, open climb, 370 blue.
31 Pulse Bravo, there is a company correction, A320 going to the same airport, 10 miles in front of you. Accordingly, you can plan your approach and monitor Unicom 1228 here.
Thank you for the traffic information and monitor Unicom 122 decimal 8. See you, Iberia 31 Ghost Tower.
Right, give me a sec, guys. Now that we're on our way up, try and sort some sim stuff out. The top status bar should be working again for you.
About 1667 Marseille, bonjour, climb flight level 330.
To the top, flight level 330, Alpine 1667.
Tower 90900, report your speed to this approach 124.175, bye-bye.
Going to 124 decimal 45, say again please.
Negative 124.175.
Going to 124 decimal 175, Tower 999.
Is the I've been tinkering around with the settings a little bit. Is the volume of the VATSIM networks okay for you guys? If you could let me know, that would be
Control, good afternoon.
that would be great.
412 with you, passing through flight level 370 for 380.
412 Marseille, bonsoir, 7 o'clock 1000.
So, just looking at our top of descent, obviously not a long flight tonight, so we're going to start getting ourselves prepared for that whilst we're in the climb.
State Control, hello, Challenger 22 Tango, flight level 220, descending flight level 190 at Muma.
And if someone could very kindly act as my PM and grab me the current METAR for Palma, that would be greatly appreciated.
Tower 412 identified, clear to Negat 1 Sierra arrival. Tower 412 clear to Negat 1 Sierra arrival.
Negat 1 Sierra arrival, transfer 412.
Reference 123 side speed.
Alpine 11 Tango Bravo is requesting logon. I don't know how you're able to actually accept that.
Reference 123 Roger, reduce 250 for sequencing and advise when ready to descend.
Right, so we're coming on the Rixot 2 mic, which is just here.
Reference 123 Roger, descend flight level 190.
190.
No, we're not.
Tower 0839 clear the body 7 Romeo arrival. When ready, descend flight level 170. Body 7 Romeo arrival. 04 left. And
that's better.
Sorry, repeat my initial descent. flight level 170.
We're ready 170, Idaro 089.
Challenger 22 Tango, could you descend flight
So,
level 170?
having a look at our approach, we're going to be doing 250 knots, 250 knots. Then at the Mallorca VOR,
Contact Nice approach 124.175, over.
we want to be 3,000 feet, leaving that.
Over to approach 124.175. Thank you. Switch to 2760.
Okay, I'm just looking at the charts. Then I'll do a brief. So I'm looking to be a green dot as we reach the VOR. Just here.
Control, good evening. United 642 is at flight level 370.
United 642, Marseille, bonsoir.
And then as we go around, it'll be flaps 1, flaps 2.
Cleared the Viva 7 Romeo arrival, United 642.
Foxtrot 99 Novembre, Oscar Alpha 1, comme 128, au revoir.
Not sure we're going to make it up to our climbing altitude today. I can drop the cost index down to 4 just to give us a bit more of a climb. Right, so into the performance page goes the arrival. So what do we have? Wind is 050 at 10.
Advance 123, report to speed to Nice approach 124.
Try that again. 050 at 10.
16 approach 124.175.
Transition altitude is 6,000. Temperature is 21.
When ready to send down to
QNH 1010. And why didn't that go in?
Et on part à gauche au Cap 100 pour Kingfisher 22.
Visibility is fine, so it's going to be a Cat 1 approach. Minimums for that 274.
On descend niveau 140, on descend niveau 140, Alpine 4435, désolé.
Challenger 22 Tango, contact me, correction Ajaccio approach 121.05, over.
121.05, Challenger 22 Tango, good day.
Alright, let's just check that the coding of the arrival is correct.
Correction, stop descent to flight level 220.
Stop level 220.
So at Nakob.
Corsica 121, contact Ajaccio approach 121.050, over.
12105 for Corsica 121, good one.
Speed 250 knots. The speed limit point. Before that, we've got Charlie Delta Papa. Prior to that is Rixot. Flight level 230. Coming down to the Mallorca VOR. At the Mallorca VOR, I'm going to move on to 3,000 feet at this point. That gives me a chance to bleed speed. So, let me just go in and edit this. So instead of being below, I want to be at. I'm going to pop a speed in there as well, 210. And that just tells the aircraft then, as we're getting closer, that I want to have slowed down, be 3,000 feet there. We're still climbing. I don't think we're going to make our cruising altitude today. Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, can we stop climb flight level 330?
85 miles per hour, stop climb 330.
Roger, climbing now, flight level 330, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. 330 blue. And funnily enough, we're now levelling off. We've got just over 80 miles to the top of descent. Right, so we'll get to the top of our climb. We'll run the top of climb checks. That gives us enough time just to brief. It's been rather busy, hasn't it, on the departure? So Mac Alt Star. Go to the prog page. We'll type in 330. Give our passengers a nice ride.
428 Zulu, speed 250 knots, and a report
Alt cruise.
FENIX approach 124.175. Good evening.
Got to make sure we don't miss any ATC's calls as well. It's great having ATC. It's very, very busy on the network tonight.
Alors 428 Zulu, pardon, vitesse 250 nœuds et indiquez la vitesse FENIX approche 124, 175, au revoir.
So, quickly do our top of climb checks.
Guitar 0839 descent flight level 210. Descending 210, Guitar 0839.
Used 1 3/4 tons. No fuel leak. APU is obviously off. 24 degrees in the flight deck and cabin. Doors are all closed and armed. Wheel temperatures, all the brake temperatures are fine. Flight controls are all good. System status page is normal. Okay, fuel at Bativ. Let's check. So we took 0.7 tons of fuel extra, and then at Bativ then we should have about 4.2 tons. We've got 415, that's okay, probably because of the amount of time we spent on the ground. Other than that, everything's good. Right, let's talk about our arrival. So, we've obviously got the... Oh, let me delete that. Hold on. There we go. So we're coming in via Rixot. We need to be below flight level 230 at that point. All of these I've checked the coding for. They're in the FMGC. Nice straight in approach on this this point. I'm aiming for 3,000 feet and green dot at the Mallorca VOR. After that, we'll pull flaps 1, follow the approach round, getting down to platform altitude 1,900 feet. Plenty of time to do that. Dropping down speed 180 knots, flaps 2, and then going in obviously on 06 left. After landing, we'll be vacating to the right, either November 3 or November 2. I'll go auto brake low in the hopes of getting off sooner rather than later. Otherwise it's a decent length taxi back to the terminal.
314 Marseille, bonjour, climb flight level 320.
Climb flight level 320.
412, contact Ajaccio, approach 121.05, over.
Felix, how is mine not a stuttering mess? The graphics settings I've got, I've lowered them quite a bit. You obviously can't tell when flying at night because, well, there's really nothing to see.
Legit 642, expect holding pattern over Amgel as published.
Expect some holding.
We're over the Mediterranean as well, so there actually is absolutely nothing to see. Nick, hi mate. Operations are not going to be happy. You've just taken off after 90 minutes. Wow. 90 minutes.
Alpine 11 Tango Bravo, continue descent on Unicom 122D, simulate. Have a good evening.
Unfortunately, there's no ATC in Palma.
Mike Hotel, proceed direct to Rixot.
And just confirm that direct for us, please. Alpine 1 Mike Hotel.
One Mike Hotel, correct, direct to Rixot, Romeo, India, X-ray, Oscar Tango.
Direct to Rixot. Thank you, Alpine 1 Mike Hotel. Right, that is the start of our approach.
Alpine 4485, indiquez la vitesse à Nice, approche 134 décimale 475, au revoir.
Eh bien, on indique la vitesse et on passe sur l'approche 124 475 Alpine 4485.
Vous confirmez 134 Nice décimale 475.
Je confirme 134.
Tom's the limit. Tom's the limit. Sky's the limit. Tom's the limit. Yeah, I like that. Fancy putting green dot speed and checking 3,000 feet at Mallorca, so you can sit back and enjoy a cup of tea and a walk of shortbread during the descent. That's what I do. That is exactly what I've done. Yeah, that's my VNAV profile that I've set up. There we go. Look, 3,000 feet and not quite green dot, but 210. Our green dot speed coming in is, well, it's 217, but fair enough. Just getting below green dot so we can pull those pull the flaps one as we go. But yeah, that is exactly what I'm doing. So from here on in, it's going to be managed descent all the way. Felix, I'm running on 1080. Yeah. So we're now just on our way.
Eh bien, on part sur 134 décimale 475 et on indique notre vitesse. Merci beaucoup pour le contrôle, monsieur, et bonne fin de soirée. Kingfisher 22.
Christopher Shaw, oh no, you just crashed. Do you mean crashed or sim crash? I mean, both are pretty terrible. Tiger Farm 34, good evening. Just landed in Zurich with a 1.5 hour delay due to traffic. It's so busy on the VATSIM network tonight, isn't it? It really is.
473 Charlie, we are 25 miles north of Milpa, rechecking in advance.
473 Charlie Marseille, bonsoir, proceed direct to Weber.
Correct, Transavia, 473 Charlie.
Et salut les Marseillais, Swiss 564, inbound Bordy, passing to 502170.
6564 Marseille, bonsoir, identified stop descent flight level 220, cleared Bordy 7 Romeo arrival, and hold as published over Amgel.
You know it's busy on the VATSIM network when people are getting told that they need to hold.
Bordy, cleared Bordy 7 Romeo arrival, and hold over Amgel as published, Swiss 564.
Tiger Farm, at least, yes, the views in the hold over Zurich will be quite nice, especially if you're not doing it in the dark. Okay, so this is actually a really good example of the Equitime point, because we're right now over the middle of the Mediterranean. So obviously it's not the worst place in the world. Middle of the Atlantic is obviously a better example, or middle of the North Sea when crossing Scandinavia to the UK. But here's the Equitime point. So if we had a problem now, then we're getting closer to it. It would probably be a better idea to turn around and go back. Whereas once we've crossed this Equitime point, then we're closer to our arrival destination than we are
good evening,
at departure.
We're direct Resbo, passing.
Sky's Limit, the working weather radar, that's going to have to come after the next sim update, because that's when they're releasing it. Basically, the developers of the flight sim, Azobo, haven't opened it up to developers yet, so they can't tap into it.
Still control, United 642. Did you want me to continue my
Clipper 747 PA, does your approach mode automatically engage? No, not in the Phoenix. The decel point doesn't seem to be programmed. Really doesn't bother me though, because I never do it automatically.
6540 set to flight level 1.
Randall, if I've got time, can I explain the different sim settings and what they mean? Let's just have a quick look. A lot of them, I think, are pretty self-explanatory. So the airframe, you've obviously got either metric standby altitude and the integrated rather than the analog, which is just there. Here you can select what your acceleration height is, whether you've got ice detection or not. In fact, most of these aircraft don't, so I could probably turn that off. LDAV, yes. Auto TCAS, leave that on. The Neos have this, I think, again, more than the older A320s. Brake fans, not all aircraft have brake fans on either. Cabin is self-explanatory. Controls, I like those linked, so I don't have to worry about controlling the first officer's EFIS.
Easyjet 1737, Palma 190.
And then the RA call-outs, I like that one on, and that one.
1000, Easyjet 1737.
Not bothered about the rest. Oh, I like 5. If I hear 5, you know you're coming in for a decent landing. Clipper 747PA, yeah, the approach mode of the McDo. If you pass the decel point, it will arm it automatically, but the Phoenix doesn't have the decel point, so you have to do it manually.
Unicom, thank you for your control. I have your
Chris Shaw, so it looks like you can just watch the approach now. Yeah, it's all. It's such a shame when it happens, isn't it?
674.
Time 1667, Roger, Mach 73 or less, proceed direct to Rixot.
Mach 73 or less, direct to Rixot,
Tom, the FLS, yeah, so speaking about that, the FLS, is that where the aircraft creates a false glide slope? Not a false glide slope, an artificial glide slope.
Direct to R Black for
SS, no decel point. No, or certainly not that I've seen. But again, it doesn't bother me because I always activate the approach phase at around 10,000 feet. That's my trigger.
Master control, Bonsoir, le Scandal Hotel Yankee, passing flight level 153 flight level 190.
Hotel Yankee, Marseille, bonsoir, climb flight level 340.
Colan, what format do you put in the trip wind in the in at B page? The H&T prefixes aren't working for the Phoenix. Well, in that case, it would probably be plus or minus. But if you download the winds, then you don't need to put it in anyway. Yakovic, the Phoenix automatically popped the landing gear down too early for you. I didn't know it did that. It shouldn't do that, I don't think. 30 miles away from our top of descent. I was hoping for there to be a hint of daylight in the stream today, but we got that held up in Nice that it didn't happen.
1,000 feet per minute or less.
Down to 15,000 and 1,000 feet or less. United 642.
Whilst we're in the cruise then, just before that top of descent, guys, if you haven't done so already, please do hit that like button. It makes a massive difference to the channel. So big thank you to everyone that's done that. Of course, if you're new and enjoying our flight this evening, then please do hit subscribe and turn on that notifications bell.
Marseille control, Easy464. Can we just step away for 5 minutes?
I'll put the report back.
We'll report back, Easy464.
So as Tom says, Sky's the Limit 95, Tom says the pseudo glide slope, as you call it, so it starts with a point 50 feet above the threshold, draws a 3-degree path from there. It works very well. Visually on the primary flight display, it's almost an ILS just with the double diamond. Question then, Tom. I've not really looked into that system too much, but can you edit the flight path angle, the glide slope angle? So you say 3 degrees. Can you change it to, if there's a slightly steeper approach, 3.1, 3.2, or is it fixed? ATC seems to be calming down a little bit now, doesn't it? I don't know if we're still actually under ATC control at the minute. So whilst it's just quiet, I'm now hunting through my drawers because I'm pretty certain I've got some batteries somewhere to plug back into my wireless mouse. Those real pilots don't have this problem. Ah, right, well I found some batteries, but I don't know if it works or not. Oh, it does. Excellent. The wired mouse has got a bit of a sticky left mouse button, which is obviously no good. That's better. We're on the primary system again now instead of the backup. War Aviation, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. How far are we away then from Rick's? 41 miles. Relaxing Enjoyment. Great name. Thank you for subscribing as well. So Tom, no you can't. It's the same as any approach. You can't adjust things. Fair enough, so it'll be an RMP approach and the database has the flight path angle already hard coded in, so can't go in and edit that. That's fair enough. ATC's gone incredibly quiet. Well, we're going to ask them if we can begin our descent in a moment anyway, so let's see if they're actually still there. And Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, request descent.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, descent flight level 230.
Descending flight level 230, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. And descent flight level 230 blue. That's it. Down we go. Tell you what, I'm kind of relieved it's not been a really long flight tonight. Interestingly enough, I wonder how long we've spent on the ground, how long we'll have spent in the air. It's one of those, isn't it? So Tom, yeah, so you'd select the approach button and one autopilot, and you expect F lock, F glide slope, and that's it. And basically, if the aircraft can't do it, you'd get a downgrade, like an ILS, all the way to the raw. Right, it's something I'm probably gonna have to look into, and maybe a tutorial video at some point might not be a bad idea with that. Our selected approach tonight is the Rixot 2 Mike. Oh, sorry, which is a selected approach. I see. So you can actually select that, presumably then, just the same way you should select any other approach. It's all very, very clever stuff, isn't it? Mantad, that is correct. I don't have a high-end computer, so GTX 1660, Ryzen 5 3600. I mean, it's obviously not a terrible PC, but it's certainly no high-end spec. Right, so get the constraints on. Anti-ice is on. And again, that's just standard operating procedure. Get the anti-ice on as we're coming down.
Control
Alpine 1667, request descent.
Alpine 1667, descent flight level 230.
Descent flight level 230, Alpine 1667.
Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, you're leaving my airspace, catching descent on Unicom 122D simulate. Have a good flight, good evening.
Over to Unicom, thanks for the service, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. Good night. So Unicom it is. So now, as we spoke about earlier, we can be incredibly lazy, and we can set our local QNH and get ourselves all the way down 3,000 feet. So 3,000 feet blue, and I am just going to double check that was the QNH, wasn't it? 1010. Yep, good to see. Yakovic got to go, school early tomorrow, so yeah, better be hard. Head off, get your head down, mate. Thank you for coming on board, and we'll see you on the next one. Tom, get the kettle on, lads. Shortbread out. Time to sit back and joke about all the drunk Brits in Magaluf. Do you know, I've only ever been to Mallorca once. That was, I mean, it wasn't a lad's holiday. Far from it. I was about 4 years old. It was a parental holiday. Matad, welcome to the Captain's Club, my friend. Thank you so much for your support of the channel. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you on board for our future streams. If you're on Discord as well, make sure you get yourself into the VIP lounge as well, Matad. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. So we're now on our final approach. We've done our arrival brief. All that's taken care of. Matt Osborne, English GCSE revision. Oh no. That was not my topic of choice when I was in school. Science, maths, yeah, music, loved all those. English, I didn't like... I'm the kind of guy where the answer is either yes or no, right or wrong. There's no room for ambiguity. Tiger Fam, thanks for being on board as well this evening. Really good to see you. Danny says the more you dig into the Ofcoms and other manuals, etc., the more you're getting amazed by how complicated things in the aircraft are and just how many things are going off at the same time just to operate it normally. Well, yeah, of course. We always want it to be operating normally. Abnormal operations is just something else. RLS Print Design, good evening, sir. Hope you're well. Good to see you on board again. Does any air traffic show on the radar or flight information on this fit? So, do you mean the TCAS? In which case, yes.
Pilot traffic, Alpine 1667, currently inbound Rixit, descended to 3,000 feet. Will maintain speed restriction to separate.
Palma traffic, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, over head Rixot at the moment on the Rixot 2 Mike. Respecting speed constraints, will follow the full approach. Alpine 81 Mike Hotel. CD55, you didn't know you could set local QNH so far out on high altitude. Well, because I've cleared myself down to an altitude and not a flight level, then that's why we've set local QNH. If I was descending to a flight level above the transition altitude, say flight level 100, then I'd still be in standard pressure. But as I'm going all the way down to 3,000 feet, you want to be set to local pressure. In the real world, you've got air traffic control descending you, so if they tell you to descend to a flight level, say descend flight level 150, you remain on standard pressure. They then say descend flight level 70, again standard pressure. The moment they say descend altitude, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, etc. Altitude is the key word. That's when you set the local QNH. So sky's the limit, that's interesting as well. So your company used to say as soon as you were cleared to an altitude, not a flight level, you'd set it, but now you try and set it within 1,000 feet of the transition level. I still like the verbal reminder, the sort of the altitude or flight level. Again, that's either or, isn't it? As I was just saying earlier about what I used to like back when I was in school, those kinds of topics. RLS, yeah, the TCAS, you've never seen any traffic on the fly-by-wire version. Oh, it's in the experimental, and I think even the developmental version as well, if memory serves. Hammer, why is the plane going so slow? It's not. Don't look at this. This is your indicated airspeed. Okay, look at your ground speed. And your true airspeed. And it's also going as slow as this because it's maintaining a VNAV profile. We've also got a speed constraint coming up as well at Naxop just here. We're probably on this map actually. Yeah, there we are. So max speed 250 knots. So Tom, that is a very good point. The threat is something like in the USA where they don't tell you step-by-step instructions on descending. They from what I understand and my limited knowledge of the USA ATC, they say basically just descend via the star, and then you're in control, aren't you? So why 230 indicated instead of 250? Again, just because we're having a nice easy descent into the and staying on profile, descending 900 feet per minute. Should get a nice CDA as well. Hopefully. Hopefully. So we've got that terrain radar on as well. Nice to have the terrain radar back. So there's now no technical constraints height-wise for our for the rest of our descent. We're just cruising in nicely. What was this Tom called it? Tea and shortbread time. Profile is good, but it's always worth monitoring, so I'm going to go ahead into my fix info page and pop in 06 left. Stick a 30-mile radius around that. What we could do if we did want to speed up, of course, is I could just pull speed and set 250 knots. So the engines would spool up at this point. We're not going to use gravity to speed up, otherwise we'd get far too low on the profile. So we can pick the speed up 250 knots if we wish. The Greek Badger, is the terrain radar actually a radar or just projected 3D map? It's a map. It's a map that's stored on the aircraft's database. So it's not a radar, sort of, not like a weather radar which actually scans around you. That is actually just a map in a database. Marty Van Dam, yeah, the speed gates have gone because I've just thrown her into selected speed. Hammer, you still don't get why we're going 230 indicated instead of 250 as is defined. Remember that that's not defined. That is a maximum 250 knots. It's not a target. It's a maximum. If you want to go at 250 knots, that's fine. You can do what we've just done. We can pull speed, select the speed, and now we're in control of that. Just double checking we don't have any ATC. No, appears not. We're on our own this evening. As we sped up, of course, it means we're approaching our destination faster, so the profile becomes a bit steeper. So now we're descending between 900 feet and 1,000 feet per minute. We're going to go ahead and get our passengers all strapped in. And let's run the approach checklist. So our arrival brief is confirmed, seatbelt signs are on, minimums are 274 set, engine mode selector is normal, EFB is stowed. And let's get it all set up for this nighttime approach, shall we? Duldool2, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Mike P says the radio altimeter is more of a radar. Well, yeah, yes and no. The radalt literally just bounces around. Bounces the signal to the ground and then obviously picks it back up again. So in that sense, yes, you're right, but it doesn't project any sort of image. It just wants to know how far it is off the ground. Christopher says you forgot all about the terrain radar. Yeah, do you know? Yeah, because we're so used to not having it. Just start to see the lights of Mallorca now ahead of us. I've never done this approach into Mallorca. I've always come in from the north, which is arguably much trickier. You need to configure a little earlier and get slowed down because of the terrain to the north of the island. Two Shells Maze, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub on Twitch. Do appreciate that, and Hope you're having a good night. And if you have been flying, then I hope you didn't get delayed anywhere near as much as we did in Nice. Seemed to take us ages. Was it 30 minutes from push to takeoff? Was it something like that? Greek Badger, like sonar, basically, it just measures the time taken for the sound wave to return. Yeah, that exactly is it. Comes alive at 2,500 feet, and then measures you all of the way down. Hey, Gandhi! Oh, mate, thank you so much. Once again, you're supporting the channel so much. And it's Gandhi with your coming in with an £8.99 super chat saying, been a pleasure to follow the route behind us this evening. Oh yeah, of course you've flown with us this evening. We gave you a wave as we departed. How long after we departed did you get airborne? Were you waiting long? Felix, A320 is such an easy aircraft to fly. Yes, and I'm not going to argue. It is ergonomic. Everything is within easy reach. It's simple enough to understand. The fly-by-wire technology is awesome. So RLS print design, the LS button basically turns on not the ILS system. I mean, that's on regardless, but it gives you the diamonds. So the localizer and the glide slope diamonds here on your primary flight display. Friday night quiz question: if the LS landing system wasn't turned on and you armed the approach to intercept the ILS, would your aircraft still capture it and follow the ILS? Stefan, well, good morning from New Zealand. How you doing? I think we should take our Airbus, our FENIX Airbus to New Zealand for a stream. Diego, can you see the strobe lights? You certainly can, he says, quickly double checking that they're on. Not able to see too much, I'm afraid. In fact, let me put hang on. Put the wing lights on. They're at the far end of the wing, obviously, so can't see them from there. I've just realised Dark Fury's painted Easyjet on the winglets. That's nice. Gandhi, you were right behind us. You've been less than 10 miles almost the entire route. Drop the speed, approaching descent for separation. Oh, fantastic. In fact, I think that must be you on my TCAS. Right, coming up 10,000 feet, I'm going to activate the approach phase. That's all done. Matt Ed, will I fly the fly-by-wire 320? Oh yeah, definitely. We're not certainly not just going to abandon that. As I've said several times here on the channel, fly-by-wire basically, I think, saved Microsoft Flight Simulator for the hardcore simmers. Stefan says most definitely do a New Zealand flight, Wellington to Queenstown. Everyone loves Queenstown. Robbie does have strobes. You just can't see them from the passenger view. There you go. We'll give Air Gandhi a wave as well. You can see them as well when you're flying through cloud and you look on the wing view. Felix, what's my thoughts on X-Plane 12 coming out? Do you know, I was thinking about this earlier. I just don't know if it'll ever top the immersion of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Calamity Airlines, good evening, sir. Hope you're well. Tom, thank you. I've been natting too much. Right, landing lights are on. We've armed our approach. Seatbelt signs, cabin secure. And that's about it for my Easyjet SOPs 10,000 foot check. Papa Lima Mike is identified. Just talk about the go-around procedure here. So our go-around for the ILS is based on the Julius Oscar Alpha VOR. So it's a left turn, max 185. So we're going to do that in flaps 1 if that happens. And a little bit of a threat actually. Missed approach altitude initially is 2,000 feet to keep us below any incoming traffic. Hammer, why we're making such a light descent rate instead of 3 degrees? As long as we're on profile, it matters not. And we are bang on profile. Now we get to see some nice cabin views. It's been rather dark, hasn't it, for the duration? Look at that. This is what I love. So you've obviously got some sort of town, village, whatever you want to call it. And look at the clouds above it, illuminated by the streetlights down below. That is the kind of thing Microsoft Flight Simulator does. Whether X-Plane will do stuff like that, time will tell, I guess. Sega, I'm maintaining 250 knots. I might not get to flap speed. No, I'm going to get us down to green dot in around 10 miles time. 2500. I like that. I can't say that username without thinking 2500 in a very robotic voice. Will we be flying to Glasgow anytime soon? Maybe. I can't remember the last time we did Glasgow. We departed from there recently. Glasgow is probably one of my favourite airports. In fact, if anyone could find the stream, I took a tour using the drone camera through the terminal and it was amazing. Hammer, it doesn't need to do 800 feet, 2,500 feet. It needs to do whatever it needs to do to stay on profile. Forget an actual VS rate. All that matters is that we stay on profile. Had we done, as perhaps you suggest, descending at 2,500 feet per minute, we'd have then been trundling along at 3,000 feet for about 40 miles. And, well, nobody wants that. Uh, 2,500 says, can't wait, enjoying the streams a lot. Thank you. Yeah, a little check of that temperature now. We can... Oh, that's not good. Oh, definitely not good. Don't like it when that happens. Anti-ice can come off. So anti-ice putting that on is... it stops to put that on in the descent. But it's now obviously warmed up, so we don't need that. Danny, was that Edinburgh? Well, Edinburgh's good as well. Edinburgh's very good. But no, check out Glasgow. That is awesome. No Juice says, would I ever fly to Lithuania? Do you know, I don't even know if EasyJet do fly there. We don't have to stick with EasyJet routes, but obviously it's kind of what the channel was built on. So now we're going to start slowing our aircraft down to green dot. We'll push for managed speed. As we briefed, and then during this segment here, that's when we shall start to descend nicely down to the platform altitude, which is, just to confirm, passing the Mallorca VOR, we're getting down to 1,900 feet for a nice short final. Sonic147 says, great work, happy landing. Sonic147, thank you for your £3 super chat, really kind of you to support the channel, and here's hoping we have a nice landing for you as well. $2,500, wish we had a good Belfast. But there is a good free Belfast on flightsim.to. We've been there a few times. I quite like it. Masso, green dot is the best lift to drag ratio speed as calculated by the aircraft on its current weight. So you can just see that it literally is a green dot. And there it is. So that is our best lift to drag speed. Danny, was it Glasgow to Fried Chicken Haven? That was the Edinburgh. Was that the Edinburgh one? Yeah, I still can't pronounce that. That other place, by the way. It will forever be Fried Chicken Haven. Palma traffic Alpine 81 Mike Hotel is over the Mallorca Mike Juliet Victor VOR on the Rixot 2 Mike arrival, coming in for base turn and finals runway 06 left. Radio altimeter is alive. So now we're going to get ourselves down to that platform altitude, 1,700 feet. Thrust idle, open descent. Air Gandhi, it's 1,700 mate. Don't look at the first. Don't look at the first. The platform altitude is 1,700. I don't plan on levelling off at 1,700. We can set a lower. We can set our VS of about 500 feet per minute, but the actual platform altitude is 1,700. 1,900. You are quite right. For this waypoint here, they say 1,900 feet, but yeah, the actual platform altitude. Here comes our glide slope. Well, and if we have a quick look out, can we see the airport? It might be behind us. We might not be able to see that. Oh, there it is. Yep. Passengers getting very excited. They can see their holiday destination. Right, I'm happy to push the level off there. And I'll hold that 1,900 feet. And as we go through this turn then, we're going to start slowing down. So, flaps 1, speed's checked. Flaps 1.
Palma traffic, Chanex 38 Whiskey is departing 06 right on the Maris 6 Bravo departure. Palma.
What runway did he say he was departing on? 06. That's okay. I thought he said 36. Like, oh my god. Then I remembered there isn't one. Sonny, well, could I do a Wizz Air from Donny? That's my local. See plenty of Wizz Airs flying around. Okay, let's activate our approach. Glide slope, lock blue, cat 3 dual autopilot 1 and 2, lock star. Look at this wind. Might have a bit of a crosswind tonight. So I could now, if I wanted, start descending to 1,700, but
traffic, 536 November,
leave this for now.
runway 06 right.
There's that departure just taken off. Leave this now. Here comes the glide slope, so let's start configuring. Flaps 2, speed's checked. Flaps 2. And we will start reducing speed as well. I'm not going to hold 180 knots because, well, we're only 7 miles away. Palma traffic, Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, established runway 06, left 7 mile final.
And Palma traffic, Alpine 1667, sending base to the ILS Yankee 06 left.
Gear down. Spoilers armed. Flaps 3. Super 6 Bravo, yeah, of course we'll continue to fly the fly-by-wire. Anyone give me a speed check? See what it's going to be like from that latest meta. Flaps full, landing checklist. Cabin is secured, auto thrust speed, go around altitude is not set. Should be 2000, not 1900. 2000. Eco memo, landing no blue. Yeah, Tom missed the glide slope star for the trigger for the missed approach. 1,000 feet. Danny, the wind's 14 knots. In which direction? Guess we'll find out together. Autopilot disengaged. I have control.
Traffic Alpine 1667 is fully established, 06 left, no rush on the vacation gap.
I've got to get down first. Look at that wind that has just picked up
500.
and given us some lift. Let's get that nose back down. This aircraft really does respond to stuff like that.
100 above. Minimum.
Continue. Bit high, aren't we,
50,
overall?
40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Come on, settle down.
5.
There we go. And spoilers are deployed. Reverse green. A little float, wasn't there?
Retard.
70 knots. Reverses off. That was a very unfair spontaneous call from the air from the aircraft just then.
Jet 828 Delta holding 06 right for departing traffic.
Monarch.
Palma traffic Alpine 81 Mike Hotel, runway 06 left vacated. Are my landing lights on? Or are they just extended? They are on, but they're incredibly quiet.
Jet 828 Delta lining up 06 right.
Right, we're going to turn those off anyway. I think we could just do with a slightly better, some slightly better click points for the aircraft. It's not always easy. Uh, 355 FPM, is that what it was? No. It was, I think I'd have been probably happy with that than the little float that we had.
Traffic,
Never mind.
Vacated Alpine 167.
Yeah, so we did have a little float coming in, but that wind got us high, didn't it? Hopefully you all saw that. The wind was nice and calm, and then suddenly we had like a bit of a gust of wind coming up to 13, 14 knots, right on the nose, which gave us a bit of a lift, unwanted at that time. But the fact that stuff like that happens is just great. So we are going to taxi to, it's usually something like any of the stands of the main terminal, 22 through to 2. So we're on Echo at the moment. We'll text the next gate in, which I think is going to be Echo onto Romeo 6. Is that APU running? Yep. Good stuff. There we go. Gate Echo. I love this scenery as well. Fantastic Palma scenery. I think this was, do you know, I think this was the first add-on scenery I ever got for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And it was at that point that I realised that not only were the visuals on the ground going to be impressive with this simulator, but actually, this simulator was going to be something unbelievable. Chris Shaw, good night, my friend. Thank you for being on board with us. Now, I'm aiming for a stand with some ground crew. I was going to go over here because a few months back our trusty colleague HD sent me a photo which basically said, guess where I am. And he was basically parked here. Now let's see if our ground crew will drop his baton. Oh yeah, look, he's dropped it. He always drops this right hand one. And stop. Thank you, Mr. Marshall. So Chris Shaw's gone off to bed, and Tom, you're off as well. Thank you very much. Bacon 352. Glad you've enjoyed the flight this evening. Master caution, the door's open. Who's opened my door? I haven't shut my engines down yet. Goodness me. Sony 147, welcome to the First Officers Club. Thank you so much for your kind support. Sorry, I'm just going to yell at my ground crew for opening the doors while the engines are still running. Don't do that. Let's get the APU bleed on. Right, now I'm going to shut my engines down. I've not had that happen before. Maybe it's because we were late and they are thinking, goodness me. We need to get a move on here. Right, seatbelt signs can come off. Those guys can start disappearing. N1 is below 10. Let's get the beacon light off. Now you can open the doors, guys. Fuel pumps can come off. There we go. Transponder squawking 2000 set standby. Job's a good one. Sony 147, yeah, so thank you so much for joining channel membership, and if you're on the Discord server, make sure you get yourself into the members lounge as well. Thank you so much for your support. Alright, here we go. Loving the scenery here. Doesn't FENIX automatically connect to the jetway and open the doors? Yes, it does, but usually not until your engines are shut down, which, funnily enough, I should also connect the GPU. Start deboarding. Yeah, we can start deboarding, but if we can get the GPU in place, then it means I can also power down the APU. Actually, no, I can't. I used to be able to power down the APU, but then COVID hit, and I'm not allowed to do that until all the passengers have deboarded. APU is available, so it's still worth... I've seen some people ask this. It is still worth connecting external power, and then, even if you've got the APU running, because it still reduces the load on the APU if you've got external power handling a lot of the stuff and systems for the aircraft. But yeah. Sony 147, which dev airport this is? Bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can just find that. I want to say... Oh, do you know, that is a very, very good question. Just Sim. Yeah, Just Sim from Sim Market. And it is absolutely wonderful. It is really, really good little add-on. Oh, the jetway's gone now. Should we bring it back? Otherwise you guys can't get off. No, Nick, it's definitely Just Sim. I've just checked my community folder. Unless Just Flight called their add-ons just Sim. I don't know. It's definitely available on simmarket.com. Right, guys, that's me done. Welcome to Palma. Thank you for sticking with us throughout a very hectic, busy Nice, a stream crash, a mouse failure. But you know what? Despite all of that, we flew and operated our aircraft safely, and we got here into Palma with such a busy night on the VATSIM network. It was incredible. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed that. Thank you so much to those of you who have donated and contributed to the channel's upkeep during the stream this evening. To our new channel members as well, please do get yourself in our Discord server. Love to see you guys and chat to you guys on there as well. And for the Easyjet Sim Pilot members, thank you guys for your continued support, allowing me to do this as often as I can. And just as we leave Air Candy, oh mate, seriously, you are far too kind. Air Candy saying thanks again for another awesome stream. A pleasure to fly along this time. Yeah, really glad you could join us, Air Candy, this time. I know you've obviously kind of been in observer mode for the past week or so, but really glad that I was able to get you flying along with us as well this time. Great stuff. Thank you once again. Hope you all have a pleasant evening. I look forward to seeing you all again. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. Time will permit, but I'll let you know on the Discord server if you're on there. Thanks so much, guys. See you all again on the next one. Good night.